Welcome back to my Spanish kitchen. This is where I have fun making super tasty dishes, all based on Spain's incredibly healthy Mediterranean diet. So if you're interested in learning some true Spanish classics, or in today's case, a very unconventional version of a classic, stick around, click on that subscribe button, and join me today as we make tortilla española, tortilla de patatas, but not in the traditional way. I spoke about tradition and convention, and tradition and convention would tell you to start by slowly caramelizing onions, adding potatoes until they're meltingly soft, and finally adding eggs, whipped up, poured into the pan, and left to settle like a big potato omelet. But the difference with today is a technique I learned from world-renowned Spanish chef Ferran Adrià, to use a bag of potato chips, 8 eggs, maybe a little salt, depending on how salty these potato chips are. And if we wanted to add things like a bit of ham, Serrano ham I've got ready to go, or some crispy onion bits to mimic the original, we can do all that. But this will take just a few minutes and it'll amaze you. It couldn't be simpler, and it'd be a perfect addition to lunch. So let's get started. Are you ready? Don't blink. This really won't take very long. We're going to crack these eggs, all 8 of them. And then we're going to add about 2/3 of this bag of potato chips, or about 100 grams of potato chips. It will turn out to be about 2 cups. I have to tell you a story about these chips though while I'm cracking the eggs. The first time I saw these chips was in a pharmacy. I could hardly believe my eyes, so I asked about the story of why they were selling them in the pharmacy. They were selling them there because they are known to be extremely healthy for you. And for me, potato chips, healthy, I'm all there. So I bought them and did a little bit more research and discovered these potatoes are denomination of origin potatoes, very special, from the south of Spain. Likewise, the extra virgin olive oil used is also a denomination of origin, the highest quality potato chips that you could ever have. The other trick of this is, this bag is sealed so tight and a nitrogen finish in it that there is no oxygen to degrade the chips. I even did a short test by getting a bunch of different bags of potato chips, cracking them all open, smelling them. These smelled like they had just been fried. It was amazing. And I happened to see a guy demonstrating the strength of this bag by standing on the bag and it didn't bust. I'm not going to do that today. I just don't have complete confidence in this idea, even though I saw it work. But I'm going to use the scissors because you cannot open this with your hands. And we'll take a whiff of these chips. I'm telling you, they're just like fresh potato chips. And I'm going to put in about 2 cups or 2/3 of this bag. And then I'm going to really gently stir this so that it mixes it together and let it set just for a couple of minutes. You can use any potato chip, by the way. It will be just as tasty and just as good. But since I can get these potato chips from San Nicasio, it's the brand, why not? There, this is all mixed up. I'm going to let it rest for just a minute while I get the pan ready with a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of it. We're going to put it in there, cook them a bit, flip them over, cook them on the other side, and then we're done. I mentioned the idea of adding some Serrano ham to it, even a little bit of fried onion bits, and I really love them. And I'm going to do both, but I need to chop up this Serrano ham just a little bit to make it easier to add it to the eggs. And it doesn't have to be a big chop, just a little bit, so that it turns into nice manageable bits that I can mix in with the eggs and the potato chips. And that's it. Nothing more to it. I'll add this to the eggs because they've rested a couple of minutes. I'm going to add a little bit of these amazing little fried onion bits. I didn't home make them, but there's a brand called Carmencita in Spain that is the #1 spice producer in all of Spain. And they have these bits and they're just as good as fresh and homemade. And this will be a little reminder of the traditional onions that are normally used with a tortilla española. We're ready for the pan. I think we're good to go. It's firmed up a little bit more, but it's still quite loose in the center. Hopefully that won't cause any trouble. We have a nice bubble action around the edges. I'm gonna put my magic lid on. We're going to flip it over, lift that up. Oh, look how beautiful that is. And now we're gonna slide it back into the pan. It worked. This was fun to try this lid, and it's so much more relaxing than what I did before, where I was a nervous wreck when we flipped this thing over, and this time, I think it worked. It was a good investment. And now we're gonna slide this out very gently, a little bit of olive oil over the top, and we've got it. I think it turned out pretty perfect. And for a bag of potato chips and a couple of eggs, a little bit of ham, only if you want to add that, and some crunchy bits of onion, we got lunch. Add a salad, and we're done.